Welcome to the podcast. Today we're diving deep into a program that's been stirring up conversations, the Stealth Attraction System by Richard LaRuina. It's all about using subtle, psychology-backed strategies to attract high-status women.
Yeah. So first off, it's interesting how this program positions itself. Not the cheesy pickup artist stuff, but more refined techniques, right?
Right. Exactly. The focus is on being subtle, on what they call invisible influence. Its secret is to use modern social psychology, body language, and even trigger words from a curated list to build intrigue in social settings like upscale clubs or exclusive events.
That sounds like a real high-stakes approach compared to the standard direct tactics. But does it work for all kinds of guys?
Not so much, actually. The program is mainly aimed at men who already have a decent social foundation. Advanced socializers, patient progressors, and discreet connectors. It's not really designed for complete beginners who might not even know how to start a conversation properly.
Yep. Right, so it's kind of like a fine-tuning tool for those who are already out there socially, not a crash course in dating.
Exactly. It's designed for those who already have basic confidence and social skills, and it really digs into advanced topics like reading micro-expressions, controlling the social environment, and using body language effectively.
Yeah, I get that. And what about the structure? I heard there are over 3 hours of video lessons. How is that broken down?
Oh yes, it's very structured. There are detailed modules covering everything from posture drills to verbal triggers using what they call the Stealth Attraction word list. For example, the first few modules focus on body language, teaching you how to stand, how to exude calmness, and so on. Then later, they introduce techniques to gradually escalate your interactions.
That's intriguing. And there's also some bonus content, right? Like PDFs and community access?
Correct. Besides the videos, there are quick start PDF guides that help you implement the tactics fast, plus membership in a member forum where you can get direct feedback from Richard LaRuina and his associates, like experts, for instance, Adam Lyons.
Yeah, that kind of interaction can be super helpful. It's kind of like having a mini coach in your pocket, but exclusively for high-stakes social scenes.
Exactly. Let's talk about the results. User testimonials, for instance, coming in with things like 3 lays in 5 days, or a first same night lay after a long dry spell. But yeah, it's important to keep in mind that these claims seem to resonate mostly with users who already have some social experience.
Right. Sure. It really sounds like if you're already out there and just need an extra edge, this could potentially boost your game significantly. Wait, but aren't there criticisms about its pricing and subscription model?
Yes, indeed. One big issue that pops up is the auto-enrollment. You get a $69.95 trial, and then you're automatically enrolled in what they call the Master Pickup Artist University. That has surprised some users with unexpected costs, some even calling it a scam because of the hidden fees.
That's a valid point. I think transparency in pricing is key, especially for a program that involves recurring subscription fees.
Absolutely, and that's why it's emphasized to only sign up via the official website. There are warnings about unauthorized versions, like the 33 words PDF that might be circulating, which not only lack the full curriculum, but can also pose security risks.
Right, safety first. Speaking of which, what about the risks? Are there any significant downsides aside from the subscription model?
Well, aside from the pricing issues, there's a steep learning curve. The methods like calibrate and escalate require a lot of practice and refinement. Beginners may struggle because it doesn't cover the basics of dating. It jumps right into advanced strategies.
Yeah, that's something a guy new to the scene might find challenging. I can see that. It might put off those who are just starting out. And then there are also ethical perceptions to consider, right? Using psychological triggers could be seen as manipulative if not done with genuine respect for others.
Right you are. The program does take a stand on ethical training, urging users to be respectful and keep things subtle. But in some cases, critics feel that focusing heavily on quick nightlife scenarios like bars and clubs might inadvertently neglect other areas such as professional or online interactions.
That's a fair critique. Absolutely. It's interesting how it's marketed almost like a tool for creating natural attraction without the hard sell tactics.
Yes, it really leans on the idea of transforming not just your dating life, but also enhancing transferable skills like deep conversational techniques and emotional intelligence, which can even benefit professional environments.
Right on. But let's talk numbers. The program costs about $69.95 per month after the trial, with some discounts for early adopters, sometimes dropping to $39.95 as a launch offer.
Yes, indeed, and that's touted as being cost-effective when you compare it to traditional personal coaching fees. And it even comes with a money-back guarantee if you're not satisfied, which shows some confidence in its efficacy.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus. I'm curious though, given all these details, how much do actual user reviews back up its effectiveness?
From what I've seen, reviews are mixed but generally positive among advanced users. Many claim that consistent use over, say, 4 to 6 weeks brings noticeable improvements in body language, conversational adeptness, and overall confidence. However, there are instances where first-time users or those lacking pre-existing social skills might feel frustrated.
It's a classic case of the technique being powerful for the right audience, but not a universal magic bullet. Exactly. It sounds like it's best viewed as a tool for refinement, rather than a complete overhaul of your social skills.
Precisely, it's more about honing what you're already good at. And for advanced men, it's even been credited with turning casual interactions into more meaningful connections. Like one user mentioned an encounter with a red-headed beauty at a club that completely transformed his night.
Wow, that's some testimonial level impact. But I have to ask, some critics mention that after years in the scene, even they found the techniques demanding. Would you say that your experience may have been exceptional, or is this a general trend?
That's a great question. I think it's a bit of both. While the methods are effective, they come with a requirement for continuous practice. Even for experienced socializers, mastering these subtle cues takes time. In fact, some reviews pointed out that yes, the change is incremental and requires persistent effort over 2 to 3 months for deep transformation.
Yeah, that makes sense. And an important angle is the ethical side. Do you feel the program adequately addresses how to use these skills respectfully, or is it leaning too heavily on manipulation tactics?
I appreciate that challenge. The program does talk about ethical training, emphasizing respect and avoiding overt manipulation. Still, it's a fine line, and some critics feel that the focus on creating attraction triggers may cross that line if misapplied. But overall, La Ruina promotes an approach that's more about self-improvement and genuine connection than about tricking anyone.
That's a subtle but important difference. It really boils down to how you use the tool, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's like having a state-of-the-art instrument. Its effectiveness depends on the musician. If you already have a foundation and a respect for the art, these techniques can elevate your performance without feeling unnatural.
That's a great analogy, yeah. Speaking of foundation, what exactly does the program include in its starter phase?
Initially, it directs you to improve your body language through simple, yet repeated posture drills. Something like a 7-day posture training to build that stealth stance. It then moves into using specific trigger words and phrases to ramp up the intrigue in your interactions. This methodical, phase-based approach helps ensure you're not just rushing into advanced tactics without the necessary groundwork.
That's a smart progression listed there. And what about the long-term benefits? Do the skills learned translate well into everyday confidence?
Yes, that's actually one of the strong selling points. Users report that beyond just attracting the opposite sex, they enhance their communication skills, boost their confidence in meetings, and even see improvements in personal growth. It's not about short-term wins, but creating lasting social competence.
Right, so it's addressing a broader skill set. Overall, while the stealth attraction system seems well-founded in psychological principles and has a dedicated following among experienced men, it's clearly not a one-size-fits-all solution. For those with the right background, it's a valuable tool for subtle social mastery, and for others, it might just be a steep climb.
Exactly. It's all about knowing where you stand socially before diving in, managing expectations, and being prepared for a period of disciplined practice. So if you're considering it, do your homework, decide if the advanced approach suits you, and be mindful of those recurring charges.
Very prudent. Great discussion today. I think we've covered all the key points, from the structure and benefits to the ethical considerations and potential pitfalls. It really comes down to personal choice and the level of commitment you're ready to make.
Couldn't have said it better. It's a fascinating mix of psychology, self-improvement, and a bit of adventure in high-end social scenarios. Thanks for joining me in breaking this down.
Absolutely. Thanks for the insights. Catch you next time for another deep dive. Stay curious and keep refining those social skills.